In today's session, we are going to cover VLOOKUP, that is called as vertical lookup. Now, before we get into the details of VLOOKUP, I would like to first begin by showing you all how you can create a drop down using data validation. You may have often seen that you get Excel files or Excel worksheets which have lists in them. And when you click at the side of the list, you have the freedom or the ability to select items from the list. You have the ability to choose the item that suits you from the list. That is called as creating a drop down using data validation. So data validation, what does it do? It allows you to create a drop down or a list with items. Now, the advantage of creating it in the more recent versions is, see over here, you'll see quality control is repeated multiple times. Quality assurance is repeated, research centers repeated. But in the newer versions, when you use data validation, in order to create your list, it will only consider unique items. It will only consider unique items, which is one for each item which is available in the source data. So when you pick up from here, it will only consider unique items from the list. So let us take an empty cell, go to data, data validation. So under data tools, you have data validation. So under data, you have data tools. Under data tools, you have data validation, which is the option which will allow you to create a drop. Click on data validation. Now, under settings, under validation criteria allowed, you can choose list because at the moment I want to create a drop down or a list of items. Under allow, you will choose list, which will allow you to create a drop down or a list. In source of the list, in source of the list, I will choose the items which I want to put in my list. So for now, I'm going to come and I'm going to select these items. Select the first cell, Control Shift and down arrow key to select till the very end. Select the first cell, Control Shift and down arrow key to select till the end. Click again here, say OK, and now do a Control backspace to move to the top of your data. So two keyboard shortcuts which I'm sharing. Control plus Shift for side. Okay. Control plus Shift plus down. And to come up, Control backspace. Okay. So now you can see that a drop down or a list has been created. But no item of my list, but no item of my list has been selected here. No item of my list has been selected here. And hence, now I can go and I can see. Now, if you see, quality control occurs multiple times in the list, but the drop down has only considered one for each occurrence of the item. So basically, the drop down has picked up only unique values from the selected data. So when you create a drop down in the newer versions of Excel, that is after 2019, it will always create a drop down with unique values. I repeat, it will always create a drop down or a list with unique values. Please try, everyone, and let me know if you have any doubts or any queries. For now, we will create the drop down for the department column. For now, we will create a drop down for the department column. In case any of your team members have not joined the session, please inform them to connect for the session, everyone. If anyone has any doubts or any queries, let me know. Have you all completed? Did you all let me know? Okay, great. Thank you. Now we will go to the cell L8. I repeat, now we will go to the cell called L8. If you see next to the cell L8, you can see employee name written in it. And that is why in the cell L8, I am now going to go and create a drop down for the names of the employees in the column C, which is the employee name column. So basically what I am going to do here is I am going to create a drop down or a list with the items in column C, which is the employee name. So go to cell L8, which is a blank cell. Then under the data tab, under data tools, in the drop down nested, you will see data validation. Data validation will allow you to create a list. So click on that, allow, list, and for source of the list, I will take these items. Select the first cell, Control Shift and down arrow key to select till the very end. Here you can see under validation, the drop-down list has been selected. And if you look very carefully in the selected area, you will see that the dollar sign has been used. The usage of this dollar sign indicates that this range or this group of cells has been locked. I repeat, the usage of dollar sign, dollar before column and dollar before row indicate that that particular range of cell has been locked, it has been fixed, and the reference will not change for this particular range of cells. Click again here, say OK, and control backspace to move your cursor to the top of the cell. Next to employee name, you have a drop down, and from here, you can select your option. From here, you can select your option. So in this manner, next to employee name, you can create one for the names of the employees, and that will enable you in order to select the employee names from here and make your VLOOKUP table or make this particular sheet dynamic. So for now, go to the employee name, the cell next to it, which is called L8, and create a drop down. Requesting everyone to be on mute. In case anyone wants me to repeat creating a drop down, let me know on chat. In case you all want me to repeat it, let me know even by unmuting yourselves. I will quickly repeat it and then we will go ahead with the VLOOKUP. Yes, sure. So first step, take a blank cell. First step, take a blank cell. Then go to data and under data tools, nested in the tools, you will see data validation. Data validation, as the name suggests, enables you to create a drop down or a list of entries. Under validation criteria, I am going to ask for a list because I want to create a drop down or a list. Under source of the list, come in the department column, just below the label, Control Shift down arrow key, click here, say OK, and Control Backspace. And here you can see that your drop down has been created. In your drop down, you will see that only unique values are considered from the department column. Similarly, if you want one for status, you'll go to data. Under that, you have data tools. Click on data validation, allow list, and in source of the list, select the source. Say OK. Control backspace to go back. And this is your drop. Is it clear? Any questions? Is it clear? Any questions? Any queries? Anyone? Do you all want it to be repeated or you all are good to go ahead now? Okay. Most welcome, Chirag sir. Okay. Let us now talk about VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, as the name suggests, stands for data in vertical format. That means your columns will have headings and your data will flow across the different rows. So if you see this data very carefully, it is an example of a data for VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP means data should be vertical and columns should have headers. So here if you see, the data is in vertical format. These are my labels. I repeat, data is in vertical format. These are my labels. And the data is flowing within the rows to row 5, row 6, row 7, and so on. Now, what does VLOOKUP do? VLOOKUP looks up the leftmost column and then gives you the data from the same row but from different column headers. Let me give you an example. If you know the employee name is David, you can fetch the department, that is quality control. You can check on the status, which will be half time. You can see the number of years worked, which is 19 years. And you can also check on the job rating, which is 3. So what does VLOOKUP do? It looks up the leftmost column. Once you find your item in the leftmost column, it looks up the row and gives you the data from the same row but from separate column headers. That means if you get the row, after that you only have to see the column header from where you're fetching the data. So now, before we understand the VLOOKUP, let me show you the four parts of the VLOOKUP formula. And then we will start applying. So as it is a function or a formula, it will always begin with an equal to sign. Then write the name of the function or the formula and open the bracket. When you do this, automatically, the VLOOKUP syntax will appear. The VLOOKUP syntax will appear. The first argument here is lookup value. Lookup value, as the name suggests, stands for what are you searching for? I repeat, lookup value, as the name suggests, stands for what are you looking for? So here I am looking for employee name Mihaela Kir. Okay, so I'm looking for this employee, comma. Second part of the formula is table of array. Table of array stands for where are you searching for this data. Table of array stands for within this data, where are you searching? So I'm searching within this data. Control Shift side, Control Shift down, comma. Now they are asking me column index number. Column number within the data from where I'm picking up the data. So within the data, I am picking up data from which column? So I want the department. So within the selected area, the department is in the second column. So column index number will be 2, comma. Now there are two types of matches. Am I looking for an exact match? Then I will click on false. Or I can also do 0 for an exact match. Numeric value 0 stands for exact match. But there could be scenarios where I could be searching for approximations or an approximate match. In those scenarios, I will be looking for 1. 1 is the number associated with an approximate match. Close bracket, hit enter, and now you will see for this particular employee name, I have got the relevant employee code. I repeat, for this particular employee name, I have got the relevant employee code. Is it clear, everyone? Let me go through it one more time, where I am going to take you in a step-by-step manner to apply the VLOOKUP. But before I apply the VLOOKUP, I have a question for you all. If I tell you that you have all used VLOOKUP in your day-to-day life, but you all are just not aware of it, you will all be surprised, right? Now, we all appeared for examination. And when the examination result is shared on the board or outside the classroom, we go and we perform VLOOKUP in a manner where we are not aware of. We go to the board and we look up vertically for our roll number or seat number or exam ID. So when we go to a board, we first look vertically for the exam ID or the seat number. Once we look up vertically, we then start looking horizontal and pick up the data from the same row but from different column headers. Is it clear? So is equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value stands for what are we searching for. Here we are searching for employee name. This is the employee name, comma. Table of array stands for where are we searching? Table of array stands for where are we searching? We are searching here, comma. Column index number stands for column index number stands for which is the column within the selected area that I want to fetch the data from. I'll repeat, column index number stands for which is the column from the selected area where I want to fetch the data from. And here I want to fetch the data from the department column. And if you see within selected area, department lies in the second column. Repeating one more time, within this red selected area, department feature follows in second column within the selection. So we will write 2, comma 0 for an exact match. Close the bracket, hit enter, and this is your answer. Let us repeat it one more time for status in a step-by-step manner. Is equal to Vlookup, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? So I'm searching for employee name, comma. Where am I searching? In the table of array, comma. Column index number. Column number within the selection from where I'm picking up data. So column index number is 3 because within the selected area, status falls in third column, comma 0 for an exact match, enter, and this is your answer. So here, when I change the employee name now, my department and my status both will change related to it. So here, every time I make a change in the employee name, the department of the employee will change and the status of the employee will also change. Can you all please try this? I'm copy pasting these two formulas in chat box. If you feel confident, you can definitely go ahead and try to the whole table. Please try. We need to complete the table. Please try. We need to complete this table. Great, good job. Let's wait for 2 more minutes for all the other participants to complete. You all need to complete department, status, hire dates, years, and salary, everything. For those who completed, you all can check your answers. Is equal to Vlookup, open bracket, lookup value, all the same. Table of array is your data or your database, comma, column index number is 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 0 for exact match. So here we have the hire date. Now the hire date appears like a number. It appears like a number in numeric form. What I need to do is I need to go to the home tab and under general, I need to choose short date. This will format it back to the short date format, and I will be left with a proper formatted table rather than something where basic formats have not been applied. To calculate the number of years worked, you can do is equal to Vlookup, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for. And here I have the list of employee names and I'm searching for certain employee names within this database. So is equal to Vlookup, lookup value this name, comma, column index number. Column index number stands for column number within your selected area from where you want to fetch the data. I repeat, column number within your selected area from where you want to fetch the data. Comma, column index number is the column number within the selected area. So number of years worked is currently in number 5, where I can fetch the date related details of the employee names. Comma, and finally we come to the part where we say, are you looking for an exact match or are you looking for an approximation? If I'm looking for an approximation, it is generally in the case of between number values. So you have 0 to 5,000, 2% tax rate, 5,001 to 15,000, 3.7% tax rate. So these are basically custom uh, scenarios where you will be using an approximate match. Otherwise, 90% of the time, we are using an exact match, where Excel is giving you exact values which match the search query. So here, the number of years or the years are in 5th column, comma 0 for an exact match, close the bracket, hit enter, and here I am getting the value NA. 2, 3, 4. Let me go and change the formatting to general format. Let me just copy paste an empty cell over here to remove the formatting. Is equal to Vlookup, open bracket, lookup value this, comma, table of array the whole data or the whole database, comma 5, comma 0 for exact match, enter, and here you have your value. Sometimes if there is an underlying layer of formatting, your answer would be correct, your steps are correct, your formula is correct, but you may still get an error because of some form of formatting that is applied before you could start working on the data set. And for the salary, again, we look up, open bracket, lookup value salary, employee name, table of array the whole data or the database, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seventh column is the salary, comma 0 for exact match, enter. And here you can see the salary for this particular person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so salary is in this column. It is in the 6th column within the selected area. I was counting it incorrectly and hence it was displaying my job rating for me. Please try these in case you have not and let me know when you've completed. Please try these in case you have not. and let me know once you have completed it. Now, this form of VLOOKUP is VLOOKUP on the same sheet where the data as well as the table are both on the same sheet. I repeat, this is VLOOKUP with data on the same sheet. The data is also on this sheet and the VLOOKUP is also on this particular sheet. The next example which we are going to consider is VLOOKUP across sheets. The next example which we are going to consider is a VLOOKUP across sheets. In that, the data will be on separate sheets and we will be collating the data by picking up the data from those sheets. Let me know if any of you all have any questions or any queries. Anyone, please let me know. For those who've completed, please navigate to the bookstore sheet. For those who've completed, please navigate to the bookstore sheet. And in the cell K5, next to the book ID, I repeat, in the cell K5, to create a drop. Click on data, and under data, we have data tools. In the drop down, click on data validation. What does data validation do? Data validation allows you to create a drop down or a list. And when you select items from the list, it will automatically update your data set. Click on data validation, allow, list, and in the source of the list, you will select your items that is from column A. Click here, click on the book ID, Control Shift down to select the whole data till the end where it extends to. Click again over here, click on OK, and Control Backspace to come to the top. Now, if you look very carefully, your drop down is created. But in your drop down, no item has been selected. If you look, your drop down has been created, but in your drop down, no item has been selected. To select the item in your drop down, next to book ID, go to the cell, click on the drop down and choose an item. In this way, you can choose the item from your drop down and you can see the different items in your list. Please create this everyone and let me know. Let us go to the title column. I repeat, let us go to the title column. And now we are going to create a VLOOKUP function or a VLOOKUP formula which looks up the book ID and changes the title in correspondence with the book ID. So every time I choose an item from the book ID called a cell, the title will auto update itself. The title will auto update itself. So let us come here and write is equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? So I will say I am searching for book ID. I will say I am searching for book ID. Comma, table of array stands for where are you searching? Table of array stands for where are you searching? So this is my data and I am searching here. Comma. Column index number stands for column number within my selected area where I want to fetch the data from. Column number within the selected area from where I want to fetch the answer from. Now, if you look very carefully, they are asking you for the title. So within your selected area, title features in the second column. I repeat, within your selected area, title features in the second column within the selected area. So 2, comma 0 for exact match, close bracket, enter, and this is the title. Now every time I go to the book ID drop down, hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Yeah, okay, thank you. Every time I go to the book ID column or the cell and I change the value, you will see that the title auto updates itself by looking at the data source which is adjacent to it. I repeat, every time I change the book ID, my title will update itself by looking at this particular source data. Is it clear? Now, the second step which I am going to do, I repeat, now the second step which I am going to do is I am going to find out the genre. If you see the genre does not feature within this data set, but there is info sheet written and there is an info sheet. On this particular info sheet, you will see that the genre is shown. On this particular info sheet, you will see that the genre is shown. But here, if you see the book ID very closely, the book ID has been split into two separate columns. The book ID has been split into two separate columns. In order to join them, we are going to make a new column called final book ID. And here I am going to take the data of book ID 1 and of book ID 2 and put it together. Putting data together along with the keyboard shortcut and is called concatenate, where you merge string of text from different cells. So you want to put the name and the surname together, or name, middle name and surname together. All of these things you will be using concatenate. So there are two ways of going about it. One, you do is equal to, you write the function concatenate. Select the reference, that is cell B4, comma as a separator, cell C4. Enter. So here I have merged both the text by using the concatenate function. I repeat, I have merged both the text by using the concatenate function. Suppose I want to use the other method of joining, I will say is equal to select the first cell, keyboard shortcut and. This will also perform the same function as concatenate done. This will also perform the same function that concatenate does. Select the next cell, hit enter, and this is it. So there are two methods of merging. One is the concatenate function. The other one is merging the two cells using the keyboard shortcut AND. One is using the concatenate function. The other one is using the keyboard shortcut AND, which helps you to join the text in both the cells. Now, if you are comfortable with writing down the full spelling for concatenate, you can go with this method. If you feel you prefer using keyboard shortcut and you can go with this. Whichever method you are comfortable with, you can go with that method. Can you all please try this and then come to the corner of the cell and drag. It will copy it to the range of cells. Please try. Complete this concatenate before we go ahead with VLOOKUP. Now let us do the VLOOKUP for the genre and we will be taking the data from the info sheet. Now, when we are doing VLOOKUP across sheet, very often we end up with an error. I'm sure those of you who have tried VLOOKUP across sheets in order to collate data have very often encountered an error because the formulae becomes very long, a lot of sheet references are taken, and then finally you end up pressing escape because you do not know what is happening. Today, I'm going to give you a solution to this issue, which is a very common issue most people face. The idea is that you begin with the VLOOKUP formulae on one sheet. When you go to the second sheet to select the data, I repeat, when you navigate to the second sheet to select the data, you remain there and complete the formulae there. Do not go back and forth. The reason we make a mistake or we have an error because we end up going back and forth multiple times. What we need to do is go to that sheet for the sheet reference, finish the formula there, and then when you hit enter, you will come back to the sheet where you started. Let me show it to you practically. Is equal to VLOOKUP. Open. Lookup value, book ID, comma. Table of array. So go to the info sheet, Come here, Control Shift side, Control Shift down. Comma as a separator again. And now you need to specify. Now you need to specify the column from where you're fetching the data. And the column from where I need to fetch the data is my genre column, which is column number 4. So 1, 2, 3, fourth column. So 4, comma 0 for an exact match. Close bracket. If you see what I did, I came to the sheet to select the data and I remained there. I repeat, I came to this sheet to select my data and I remained here. I have completed the formula and now when I hit the enter key, I will be taken directly to the bookstore sheet to where I started with punching in my formula. Can you see this? So here is my VLOOKUP across sheets where I have gone to another sheet to fetch the data. Now when I change the book ID from here, you will see the title changes by looking up this sheet, whereas the genre changes by looking up the info. Let me show this to you one more time before you try it out. Begin with an equal to sign, VLOOKUP, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? So I am searching for the book ID, comma, table of array stands for where are you searching? So I'll go to the info sheet, come here, Control Shift side, Control Shift down. Control Shift and side arrow key selects the data horizontally till where the data exists. Control Shift and down arrow key selects the data till the very end, till where the data exists. Comma, column index number. Column index number is column number within the selection from where you're fetching the data. So here I am fetching the data from the fourth column within the selection, comma, 0 because I'm looking for an exact match. And when I hit enter, it will navigate and take me back to the bookstore. Change this, and as soon as you change this, you will see that the genre as well as the title will both be changing. Please try this, everyone, and let me know if you want VLOOKUP across sheets to be repeated. The catch here is when you go to take the data, you remain there. Complete your formula there, and then when your formula is done, your bracket is closed, then you come back to where you have started by clicking enter. Please try, everyone. Let me know when you're complete. In the meanwhile, those who've completed, please go and see the award sheet very carefully because I'm going to ask you questions on the award sheet. I'm going to ask you questions on the award sheet. Let me know when you'll have completed, or anyone has any questions or queries, let me know. In the meanwhile, the rest of you all, please see the award sheet. In the meanwhile, the rest of you all, please look at the award sheet. Now let us take a moment to understand the award sheet. In the award sheet, in the leftmost column, I have my titles. In the award sheet, in the leftmost column, I have my titles. In the next column, I have the award name, that is the award which is given. And in the third column, I have the year the person has won the award. So I have the title, I have the award name, and I also have the year in which the person has won the award. Now, if you look over here, the leftmost column does not have the book ID. And that is why when we are finding out the award, our lookup value will not be this yellow cell. Instead, since the leftmost column is title, you will be looking up the title cell. So every time the title cell changes, you will see whether it is given an award or it is not given an award. Another important observation to be made is in the award sheet, there is very less data. Yes, there are very few rows. This shows that not all titles or not all books have received awards. Not all titles or not all books have received award. And that is why there will be a lot of titles or a lot of books which will not get a relevant answer or a value from here, and they will be left with an NA error. We will show you in step 2 how to take care of this NA error. But as of now, let us perform the VLOOKUP for the awards, but we will be looking up the title cell and not the book ID cell. Why? Because in the award sheet, the leftmost column is the title. Let us try it. Begin with an equal to sign, write VLOOKUP, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? So here I am searching for the title, comma, table of array stands for where are you searching? Table of array stands for where are you searching? I am searching in this award sheet, so navigate to the award sheet and select the data, comma. Now, will I take it back there? No. This is a VLOOKUP across sheets. So when I come to another sheet, I will complete the formula here to avoid any error. Column index number stands for column number within the selection from where I want to fetch the data. So here I need the award name, and within this selection, award name is in second column. Within this selection, award name is in second column. So 2, comma 0 for an exact match, close bracket, hit enter, and this is your answer. Now, every time I change the book ID, the title will change, the genre will change, and the award will also change. Now, you will see that many books have not got an award. And in those scenarios, you will see an NA error. Now, when you get an NA error, okay, and even otherwise, I will show you the step 2 part of this, which is use the if error function. Now, what does the if error function? The if error function, as the name suggests, if there is an error, it will give you the customized answer for it. But if you're getting value, it will give you as it is value. So look at the formula is equal to if error, open bracket, is equal to if error, open bracket. Value stands for the value which will come. I repeat, value stands for the value which will come. So the value over here, I repeat, the value over here is this particular value. So if the value is coming, it will show the value as it, comma. Now you need to give the second part of the formula which says value if error. But if there is an error, I can customize that and say no value, no value found. Close inverted comma because this is text. Because it is text, I will open inverted commas, write the answer, close inverted commas, close. So now if you see, since this is an error, I'm getting no value found. But if I come and change and you get an award name, you will see the award name. So in short, what does the if error function do? The if error function, if you're getting an answer, will give you the answer as it is. But if you're getting an error, it will give you an error. Okay. So if you're getting an error, you can customize the error alert. But if you're getting a value, you will get the value as it is. So that is the advantage of the if error function. Now let us understand how to use the if error function. In order to use the if error function, you perform the VLOOKUP as it is. I repeat, you perform the VLOOKUP as it is and you envelope the VLOOKUP with the if error. So outside the VLOOKUP, you'll write if error. Open. So for value, you will give the whole VLOOKUP formula. So if you're getting a value, you will get the value that comes from VLOOKUP. But if by chance you get an error, after the comma, you will write the answer for error. So open quotes, space bar, close quotes. What does this mean? It will give you a blank cell. Enter. And here, because you're getting the value, it's showing the value. Now you're seeing a blank cell. Is the cell actually blank? No. There is an error and we have said according to if error, if there is an error value, then show us a blank cell. I repeat, if there is an error value, then show us a blank cell. Let me remove this and show this to you one more time and then you can try. First step, always complete the VLOOKUP. Second step, we will envelope the VLOOKUP in the if error function. Open bracket, this is the if error, comma. Now is the value if error. You can even write a custom error alert. No award given, only nominated, few awards given, or you can say hyphen. So hyphen will be open quotes, hyphen, close quotes. Now hyphen is also considered as text matter. And that is why if you would like a hyphen to be displayed, you have to specify it in double inverted commas. And now when there is an error, you will get a dash or a hyphen in place of it. Please try everyone. I'm copy pasting this formula in the chat box for your reference. Please try. This is a little important, so please make sure that you all try it out. Please try, everyone. Okay, let us go ahead. The same concept of award will be taken ahead to the review and the rating sheet. Let us have a look at the review and the rating sheet. In the leftmost column, we have the reviewer ID, which is nothing but the book ID. So again, for review and rating sheet, we can look up the book ID column. This is again an example of a VLOOKUP which is across sheets. So let's go to the bookstore sheet and let's write the formula. But all the books have not been reviewed. I repeat, all the books have not been reviewed. So there is a chance that you may get an error, and hence we will begin with a VLOOKUP and then we will envelope it in the if error function or formula. Is equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket, lookup value book ID because in the leftmost column you had the reviewer ID or the book ID, comma, table of arrays stands for the data or the database. So this is my data. Now I will not make the mistake of moving back and forth. I will remain on this page and finish this particular formula. Comma, column index number is 2 because within the selection, the review or the rating is in second column. Comma 0 for exact match, close bracket, enter, and this is my answer. Now I will ask you a question. Do you think that my formula is wrong, that I got an error? No. My formula is not wrong, but very few reviews or ratings have been given, and that is why for many items you will get an error. In order to take care of this error, we will envelope this or wrap this in the if error function or formula. So if error, open. This is VLOOKUP. For this you will get value, comma, value if error. Value if error means if there is an error, what will be shown? Open quotes, hyphen, close. Or if you want empty cell, just put open quotes, space bar, close. Bracket, close, hit enter, and this is it. Go to the drop down now here and change. As I change the values, you will see that either the award is blank or the rating is blank or the other way. So this is my rating formula. I'm going to copy paste it. I want you all to try the formula out. Let me know if you have any doubts or any queries. Try it out. Let me know if you want it to be repeated or if you have any questions or queries. Okay, great. Thank you for the feedback that you have completed. Now, the next type of VLOOKUP which we are going to do is called VLOOKUP for an approximate match. Okay. Now, when do you do a VLOOKUP for an approximate match? You do a VLOOKUP for an approximate match when you work within ranges of cells or data. That means if I have something like 0 to 10, 11 to 20, then I will be using a VLOOKUP with an approximate match. So in VLOOKUP for exact match, I get exact answers. In VLOOKUP for approximate match, I get values within a range. I get values within a range of cells. Okay, so here I have the salary amount. Here I have the salary amount. Here I have the data on top. So if the salary is between 0 to 15,000, the tax is 5.60. If the salary is between 15,000 and 1 to 25,000, it is 7.20. If the salary is between 25,001 to 40,000, then it is 8.30. And if it is greater than 40,001, then it is 9.70. This is the VLOOKUP for an approximate match data set. Now we are used to reading data in this manner. 0 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 40, more than 40. But Excel reads data like this. Let me show you. It's reading like this: 0 to 15, 15 to 25, and 25 to 40. So it is reading in this manner. Why? Because always VLOOKUP only looks up the leftmost column. So technically speaking, this column is not required. You don't need this column. But for the first example, we will consider the whole data. Then we will do one more example where we will remove this. So is equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? What are you searching for? So I'm searching for salary 75,000, comma. Table of array stands for data or the database. So this is my data or my database, comma. Column index number stands for column number within this selected area from where I need to fetch my data from. Column number within the column. Within the selected area, I need to fetch the data from the third column. So 3, comma, every time I used to do an exact match up till now, in whatever examples we consider. And that is why I was always using a 0 at the end. And 0 was the number which was associated with an exact match. But right now over here, I'm looking for approximations and I'm working with approximate values. And that is why I will be using 1, which is associated with an approximate match. Hit enter, and here you have got your answer. If I go to the salary cell and I change the number value, you will see automatically the tax will change. Every time I make a change to the salary, the tax will change and auto update itself. This is the first example of VLOOKUP for an approximate match, where you're looking up the data within approximation. Please try, everyone. Okay, now for the second part, I'm going to copy the first column and I'm going to copy the last column, which is the tax. Now, according to the VLOOKUP, what does a VLOOKUP do? VLOOKUP stands for vertical look. Where does VLOOKUP look up? VLOOKUP looks up the leftmost column and then gives you the data from the same row but from a separate column header. Using this concept, actually VLOOKUP only needs the leftmost column and other columns where it can fetch data from. So let us come here is equal to VLOOKUP, open, lookup value. Lookup value stands for what are we searching for? Lookup value stands for what are we searching for? Here I'm searching for the salary, comma, table of array stands for where are we searching or where is the data where we are searching. So we are searching within this data, comma, column index number is column number within the selection from where you want to pick up the data. So within the selection, I want to pick up the answer or the data from the second column. So 2, comma 0 for exact match and close bracket, hit enter. And here I will get my answer. Now, why did I get an NA? Because I put 0 for exact. I am looking for approximations. I am looking for approximate values. And that is why I will always use 1 at the end. The answer is correct, just the formatting needs to be taken care of. Now, in order to format this, I need to use the percentage format. But there are 2 percentage formats. There is 1 percentage which is outside, and there is 1 more percentage which is over here. Can anyone tell me in the chat box or by unmuting themselves what is the difference between the 2 percentage signs? What is the difference between the two percentage signs? Can anyone tell me? Okay, let me tell you the difference between the two percentage signs. The percentage sign in the drop down is a more specific one with exact point wise bifurcation. But the percentage which is outside will give me rounded off values. So if it is less than zero point 0.5, it gives me the same number. If it is more than zero point 0.5, it gives me the next number. So click here, click on percentage, and here is my percentage form. So the answer is the same, even with only two columns of data where the leftmost column is being looked up and with three columns of data. So basically this yellow column, though it is there for viewing purposes, though I even selected it, it is not making any difference and it is not helping the answer in any manner. It is just there. It is not allowing or helping VLOOKUP to arrive at the answer. Neither is it doing anything else. But for your understanding purposes, for the first attempt, it makes it easier to show you that when you're looking up within ranges of data or between two numbers, then we look for an approximate match in VLOOKUP. Please try this, everyone. This is the second one without the second column. Please try. Once you are done, we can navigate to this VLOOKUP approximate match sheet. But only after you'll complete that, then you'll move to the sheet and try and understand it. If anyone has any doubts or queries, if anyone would like to share their screen, let me know. Okay, let us go to the VLOOKUP approximate match sheet now. Let us go to the VLOOKUP approximate match sheet and let us understand the data. Firstly, in the first column, we have the names. In the second column, we have the salary. In the third column, we have the number of dependents. Now, if you see the adjacent table here, you will see at the combination of the salary and the number of dependents. I repeat, at the combination of the salary and the number of dependents, the tax rate is calculated. At the combination of the salary and the number of dependents, the tax rate is calculated. Now, if the salary is 56,000 the tax rate will be calculated with two dependents in this particular cell. So in this manner, it looks up vertically, finds the bracket it falls within, and then gives you data from the column index number, which is based on the number of dependents. Based on this concept, we will be performing a VLOOKUP for an approximate match. Can you all give it one try? Okay, but make sure the formula has to be dragged down. So think what you need to make constant. Think if you need to lock certain cells and then go ahead. Come on, please try everyone. Did anyone try it? Okay, let us do it together. Now, VLOOKUP is equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for? I am searching for salary, comma. So for this particular salary and number of dependents to what is the tax. So lookup value salary. Where am I looking up? I'm looking up within this table. Now, since I am going to drag this formula down, I will need to lock these cells so that when I drag the formula down, my reference should not change. So F4 keyboard shortcut or keyboard shortcut function F4 in order to lock the cells so that they can be dragged down and the reference will not change. Comma, column index number. Column index number stands for column number within the selection from where I need to fetch the data. Column number within the selection from where I need to select the data. Now here the column number is decided by the number of dependents. So the column from where I need to fetch data from is based on number of dependents too. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So fourth column is the column where I want to fetch the data from. Comma, 1 because I'm looking for an approximation or an approximate match. Come to the corner of the cell and drag the formula. But if I drag the formula down, I repeat, but if I drag the formula down, what will happen is it will still be fetching data from column number 4. But here the number of dependents is 4. So actually it is column 6. So here it is column 6. Here it is 1 number of dependents. So it's 1, 2 and 3. So it's column 3. The next one is column 3, which is number of dependents 3, which is actually column 5. And then the next is again number of dependents 2, which is actually column 4. So you will see that basically the number of dependents, look very carefully, plus 2 is giving you the actual column from where you need to fetch the data. So number of dependents 2 is in column 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Number of dependents 4 is actually in column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So basically the number of dependents plus 2 is giving me the actual column number from where I need to fetch it. So is equal to VLOOKUP, lookup value, salary, comma, table of array data or the whole database, lock it with the $sign, comma, column index number is the column number within the selected area. So here within the selected area, it is number of dependents 2, which is the column number. So how many ever dependents plus 2 is giving me the actual column from where I'm fetching the data. So number of dependents plus 2 is giving me the actual column from where I need to fetch the data. Comma 1 for an approximate match, bracket close, enter, you've got answer. Now because I've logged the database and because I have managed to get my column index number in a dynamic manner whereby it fetches from C column and adds 2 to it. I repeat, my third column, which is my column index number, I have managed to make it dynamic where it picks up the data of the number of dependents from the C column, adds 2 to it, and then gives me the exact column within the selected area from where I'm fetching the data. Come to the corner, double click, and this is my answer. As I scroll down, you will see it has applied it to all the cells. Now, there could be two things where you could go wrong. You may forget to lock this. I repeat, you may forget to lock your table of array. In that case also, you will get an error. Because this is my selected area, you don't lock it. As the rows come down, the selected area will also move down. And you will end up getting an error. The second mistake you could make is you could manually count and write column index number 4 and then drag it down. And in all the cells or in the entire column D, it would only consider column index number 4 and again give you an error. So these are two potential mistakes that you could make in this particular scenario. I'm copy pasting the formula in the chat box. I will show it to you all one more time because it is a little tricky. But before I do it, I'm going to take this column E. I'm going to select it. And under editing, under clear, I'm going to do clear all. When I click on clear all will not only clear the content or the text matter, it will also clear any kind of percentage format or numeric format and give me empty cells. Now I'm going to put the formula, begin with equal to sign, VLOOKUP, open bracket, lookup value salary, comma. Table of array stands for data or my database from where I need to fetch the data. Lock it with the $sign so that when I drag the answer down in column E, my reference does not change for the table of array or for my selected area. Comma. Now it is asking me column index number. Now what does my column index number stand for? Column index number stands for column number from where I need to fetch the data. Column number from where I need to fetch the data. And at the moment, the column from where I'm fetching the data is column number, which is based on number of dependents 2, which is column number 1, 2, 3, and 4. But if I write manually column number 4, in this cell, it will apply that column number 4 to all the cells in column E when I drag the formulae down. So what I need to do is I need to make this dynamic whereby I notice a pattern in the data set. So if you see number of dependents 2 is in column 4, number of dependents 4 is in column 6, number of dependents 6 is in column 8. So basically the number of dependents plus 2 will give me the actual column number from where I have to fetch the data. So I repeat, the number of dependents plus 2 will give me the actual column number from where I need to fetch the data. So what will I do? Number of dependents plus 2. This will give me the actual column from where I need to fetch the data for my answer. Comma again, and in order to make sure it looks up within ranges of cells, I will use 1, close bracket and enter. 1 is used for an approximate match. Come to the corner, double click, and now you will see that though it is applied it properly, the formatting is not correct. It is not showing me in percentage format. In order to apply percentage format to it, all I have to do is choose this. No, this will give me rounded values. Go to the drop down and select percentage from here, but do it after dragging it so that it will apply to the whole range of cells. Click over here. Here, please try everyone. Please try everyone and let me know when you all have completed. And then we will go to the next example with VLOOKUP for an with VLOOKUP for an exact match, but there will be two VLOOKUPs being conducted here. So you have VLOOKUP 1 and you'll be having VLOOKUP 2. So complete that, then I will explain this data set to you. Let me know once you all complete, then I will start explaining how this particular VLOOKUP is conducted in this particular example of advanced VLOOKUP. If anyone has any questions or any queries, you can let me know. We can repeat a particular topic, or if you all have not understood something, we can cover it in a better manner. Do let me know. Thank you. And now let me begin explaining this particular data set. Here in the leftmost column, I have the employee ID. In column B, I have the hours worked. In column C, I have the pay rate. And in column D, I have the gross pay rate. The number of dependents are in column E. And in column F, I have the state name. Now, if you see, for every state, there is a particular code or an acronym associated with it. That code or that acronym is given in this green table. That code or that acronym is given in this green table. Next to the green table, there is another yellow table. I repeat, next to the green table, there is another yellow table. And in this yellow table, I have the number of dependents. Okay. Based on the number of dependents and the code, I have a percentage value here, which is again the tax rate. So first, I need to look up my column F, which is my state column. And from the green table, pick up the code or the acronym associated with the state region. For that, I will do the VLOOKUP. So let me zoom this a little. Is equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for. And in this example, I'm searching for certain state names. Click on the state name, comma as a separator. And now they will ask me table of array. My table of array stands for the data which is in the range of cells, or where is the data which I need to pick up. The table of array or the data I need to pick up is here in column G and K. Select it, Control Shift and down arrow key to select it till the end, comma. If you're in a formula and you want to navigate to the top of your sheet, you can use a control backspace to come up. Keyboard shortcut control backspace. But if you notice over here, I am going to copy this formula down to the range of cells. I'm not going to manually punch into every cell. And that is why when I select the range, I will have to lock the range with the $sign. So that when I pull the formula down, my reference does not change. So lookup value, state Colorado, table of array, the whole data or the whole database, comma, column index number stands for column number within the selection from where I need to fetch the data. And here the column number is 2. So I want to fetch the data from the second column within the selection, comma 0, because here I'm looking for an approximate. I'm looking for an exact match and I'm not looking for approximations. Hit enter and here I have got my code. Now there are two mistakes we could do. One, very often we forget to put the $sign when we select the table of array or the range of cells. And the second mistake is we forget that it is an exact match here because we've done so many examples of approximate match. Come to the corner, drag it down, and it will apply to the whole range of cells. I'm copy pasting the formula in chat box for your reference. Please try it. If anyone wants this to be explained again, let me know. This is VLOOKUP for exact match, and you're getting the acronym of the state region from the state region table. Let me know when you're complete so we can go ahead with the next one. Okay, thank you for the information, Abhishek sir. Let us go ahead with the next example. For the next example, we are going to refer to this yellow table. Let us have a closer look at the yellow table. In the leftmost column of the yellow table, we have the acronym for the region. In the leftmost column of the yellow table, we have the acronym of the region table. In the top row, we have the number of dependents. At the combination of region and dependents, we get the tax rate. At the combination of region and number of dependents, we get the tax rate. Now, in order to calculate the tax rate, we will look up region acronym from here. Number of dependents is already here, and table of array is the yellow table. Let us begin with equal to sign. Vlookup bracket open. Lookup value stands for what are you searching for. So I'm searching for this. Comma, table of array stands for where am I searching? I am searching here within this data. I'm going to use the $sign in order to lock the range. Why? Because whenever you decide to drag a formula down or to pull a formula down, it is very important to lock it so that as the formula gets dragged down, the reference also does not move down. Comma, column index number stands for column number within the selected area from where you're going to fetch the data. Column index number stands for column number within the selected area from where you're going to fetch the data from. And here, within the selected area, we are going to fetch data from the fifth column, that is this. So let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So number of dependents 5 is in column 6. Number of dependents 2 is in column 3. Number of dependents 3 is in column 4. So basically, the pattern here, who can tell me the pattern here quickly in chat box? What is the pattern here? How will I get the column index number? What is the pattern? What is the pattern here? Anyone? What is the pattern here? Number of dependents 5 in column 6. Number of dependents 3 in column 4. What is the pattern? Anyone in chat box very quickly. What is the pattern for column index number? What is the pattern for the column index number? Tell me. Yes, from the selected table. So we will say number of dependents plus how much? Number of dependents plus number of dependents plus 1. Why? Because number of dependents 5 is in column 6. Number of dependents 3 is in column 4. Number of dependents 2 is in column 3. So basically the number of dependents plus 1 is giving me the exact column from where I need to fetch the data. Comma, because I'm looking for exact values and not numeric within ranges, I will use 0 for an exact match and close it. Enter, come to the corner, double click, and now for the percentage format, all I have to do is I have to go to the drop down and select percentage from here, which will give me the percentage formatting for the entire column. So this is your second VLOOKUP for this particular data set. So basically, I have one VLOOKUP And the answer which I get from this VLOOKUP, we do the second VLOOKUP looking up the first VLOOKUP. You can also call it a nested VLOOKUP where there is one VLOOKUP inside the other VLOOKUP in order to come to your conclusion. Now, a very common practice is writing formulas inside formulas. So when you write an if error in a VLOOKUP, or you write two VLOOKUPs, one inside the other, we use the equal to sign once. And the next most important rule is close the number of brackets which you're opening. This can be done in another way also, where you do is equal to VLOOKUP. This is your big VLOOKUP. And within that, this is the VLOOKUP for the yellow table. Within this, you will write your small VLOOKUP, which will look up the green table. So lookup value, Colorado, comma. Table of arrays stands for where are we searching? We are searching within this table. Dollar sign to lock the range, comma 2 because I'm fetching data from second column, 0 for exact match, comma. So your lookup value is another VLOOKUP. This is a nested VLOOKUP where there is a big VLOOKUP and within that there is a small VLOOKUP for the lookup value. Here now I need to give the table of array for the big VLOOKUP which is looking up the yellow range. So select the range. Again use dollar sign to lock the range, comma. Now within the range, where am I fetching data from? I'm fetching data from the number of dependents. And since I've already decoded the pattern of the number of dependents, if there are two dependents, it's in column 1, 2, 3. If there are four dependents, it's in column 5. So basically, number of dependents plus 1 is giving me the actual column from where I'm fetching data. Also, whenever you're doing this kind of functions, always refer to the first cell below the label so that when you drag it down, the reference changes in a systematic manner. 0 for exact match, close the bracket which you opened at the beginning. See the number of brackets open, two brackets open, two brackets closed, two VLOOKUPs, one equal to sign, enter, and here you have got your answer. Come to the corner, double click, go to the drop down and change the percentage. So you will see here I have directly got the VLOOKUP answer, okay, through a nested VLOOKUP. So the reason this is called nested is because it consists of two VLOOKUPs, one inside the other. The reason why I separately did it to you because I deconstructed the nested VLOOKUP to give it to you in the form of smaller portions. So I gave you in the form of two VLOOKUPs in which the second one was looking up the first. But those people who are familiar with VLOOKUP and who have been using VLOOKUP over the years, I recommend you go and try the nested one. Please try everyone. Please try everyone. Any questions, any queries, let me know. Let me know if anyone has any questions or queries, or if anyone wants anything to be repeated. Anyone has any questions or queries, or if anyone wants anything to be repeated, please let me know. How many of you all have done VLOOKUP for the first time today? Just let me know in the chat box very quickly. If anyone has any questions or queries with regard to VLOOKUP, or if anyone wants me to repeat VLOOKUP or creating the drop down, or understand the pattern or why the dollar sign was used, let me know. We can go through it again before we call it a day today. Tomorrow also we will be having the session, same time. So please make sure you connect tomorrow also for tomorrow's session. We will be taking VLOOKUP forward with match and index and a two-way VLOOKUP. So please make sure tomorrow also you'll connect at 2:30. The sessions will be conducted every Thursday and on Friday at 2:30 to 4:30. Any questions, any queries, anyone? Okay, let me just take the attendance photo, please. Don't leave the meeting. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for attending the session and for taking out your time. I do hope the session is fruitful and it is going to bring about a positive change in your daily workflow. And I will see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye bye.